Hello, 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 people. Welcome to Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the show. This is the trip. It's been a while, and probably some of you probably thought I wasn't going to do another show again. Seems like I've been away over the last couple of weeks, but I am back. We'll have our show on a regular schedule from here until at least May, when I have to go on another trip. But yeah, I'm here. So thanks for joining us. You've got Steven in the house. He's just listening from the car, I assume, because he said he's working. So thanks for joining us, Steven, from the north. And joining me, guess who's joining me? Who's first to join me? Got Spencer in the house. How you doing, Spencer?
Hanging in there. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. All right. Is that an Arsenal top you got on, or just a red shirt?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
nice.
had it. I just don't like wearing it because I don't like the way it fits on the arms. It's too tight. So I mean, it's weird because like the Adidas sizes are perfect, right? But then like if I buy something that's made by Arsenal, like it's so hit or miss.
Yeah,
So.
I bought some old stuff a while back, and I thought I bought like double, triple X or whatever it was. I thought I was buying. It was not. It was probably double, triple X for maybe Europeans.
Yeah,
but not double, triple X for like Americans.
Yeah.
So it fits me a little tight, around the certain areas.
I know what you're talking about. No, I mean, the jerseys from the retro section, right? The Arsenal Direct retro section, those fit well. But even like I know BX loves the long sleeves. Even some of the long sleeves in Adidas, like I just don't like how it feels on my arms. So it just depends. Like it varies. But now this is one I think I got 4 years ago, and I just don't wear it that often. So.
Cool. All right. So it's been, like I said, it's been a while since we've done a show. I felt like, or at least done a show where I know the next week I'll be doing a show again. So, but Steven said he's working in his bus, headed home empty from Jasper. I assume that's good. When you say bus, do you mean like rail bus, or do you mean like, I don't know what that means in Canada?
He drives a commercial bus.
Oh, he does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. No, I knew that he was driving something big. I didn't know what he was transporting people. All right, cool. All right. So yes, since I can't remember the last time we did a show. Or were you even on the show the last time? I think you can. I don't know when you've been able to make this show.
The last time we did one 2 weeks ago. That's the last time I was on.
All right, so 2 weeks ago. But we'll just go into the last. I think at least I think we must have talked about the North London Derby, right? I think so. So we'll talk about the last three real quick. Chelsea 2-1 at home. I don't think they really gave us much of a hassle, if I recall that game. I kind of have to look at it now. It's been a while since we played. So let me look here. Let me look at this. Let me look at this here. So we played Chelsea, right? Right. Yep. Chelsea. And oh yes, they ended up with a red card late in that game. 2-1. Yeah, we scored. So that's right. Defensive scores. We scored all the goals once again. Own goal is our friend and our enemy sometimes. But Saliba started off with a header, I believe, that went off one of their defenders and in. If I recall that one, yeah. They responded late in the half when Hinkapie had the ball go off of him in for a goal. Timber scores on the header set piece. So a set piece game for us. Basically, they scored in a set piece as well. and Neto got his second red for being stupid. And they still were able to find a way to at least put pressure on us down a man again with 20 minutes left in the game. I don't. So it. What do you think?
This is who they are, man.
This is what we're gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I'm telling you, look, tomorrow you got a Champions League game. You're gonna see a lot of entertaining stuff tomorrow. I just want, but in the league, this is what it is. I don't know if you got a chance to see the CBS Sports Galazzo stuff today. And I didn't want to bring this up just yet, but it was talking about Arsenal, and it was Henry talking about the way the game has changed. Like, there isn't the same space that you saw 10 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of went into this whole thing, it's all about not losing possession, but everybody's playing this way now. Mm-hmm. I mean, we watched the Mansfield game on this Sunday, and even they were doing long throw-ins.
True.
So like the game's kind of changed just itself, but you're going to see a grind in the league. That's who this team is. That game, the last 15 minutes, I felt very, why are we allowing this to get this way, especially to a 10-man team? But I don't know who that attributes to.
We play down to our competition, I feel, and like not even worse than before. Like before, we would play down to them, and the fact that it's even tougher to score on us makes it even difficult for any team to get anything on us, anyways. When we play down to them, because if we, that, I go that Sunderland game. The problem is the Sunderland game, which is I look at the Newcastle game. I look at the issues with that is we were playing from behind. That's the only reason why those games played out the way they did. If we didn't give up the first goal, if we didn't respond in kind, we wouldn't play that way, right? And I'm like, the mentality for me, why can't one day we can go into a game? It says 0-0 on the scoreboard, but I tell us treating it like, guess what? We're down a goal already to start the match. You know what I mean? Like that mentality where you kind of need to figure out a different way to get your team to perform in a certain way that they can, because you've seen it too many times. You've seen it, so it's there, right? And these are teams with both Sunderland and Newcastle have decent defenses that people that have gotten them where they are today, right? It's definitely Newcastle. Today, not so much. Well, today actually really much, right? Today their defense did a good job, and we'll get into that as well, because I think today is going to be, people are going to expect it tomorrow, and I know Arsenal probably will probably let them down. they will probably expect Arsenal to go out there and win big, but I don't think so. But like I said, I kind of felt like we played down to teams, and I think it's only when we're behind that we look like a team that could go out there and get 2 goals back quickly, and in a league anyways. Yeah. You're quiet, or you muted yourself.
It's frozen up a little bit. No, okay. To me, I think you're just going to get you're going to get different regardless of what competition you are. Like if you're in the Champions League, you're going to get free flowing once they open up. Like tomorrow, I think is going to be a pretty open game. Maybe Leverkusen set back, but I just feel like our Champions League form, it's different in Europe than it is in the league. In the league, everybody sits, 10 people behind the ball, and then there's no space for anybody to operate. And then, I wonder about the intensity of maintaining that high press intensity the whole game. Do they sit off for a little bit? And I'm just thinking about where we are, competing on 4 fronts, which is very difficult. No one's ever won a quad. It's never been done. There's a reason for that. You also looking at Saturday morning, Calafiore had his injury. Trossard had an injury. How are we also going to get 3 points on the board, continue through competitions, but also maintain 100% squad health? But also when you do rotate, people still are getting injured, right? Like Saturday, like was a prime example. I know maybe jumping ahead, but like Salmon, I had no issue with him committing the error he did. I was okay with it. He's a 17-year-old kid. No harm, no foul. Not even angry. Wouldn't even get angry if he'd have cost us the tie. You know what I mean? Because we need that rotation because we have a big game on Wednesday.
The only reason why I'm not concerned with it just as much as you is because that's the way we play. We make those passes, which if they're off by just a little bit, we set up the other team up on a counter.
Correct. The
And it's
pass.
not, and he's not the only one to do it. So if our best defender Gabriel can make a similar pass, if one of our better players in Zubamendi can make that similar pass, if our goalkeeper who's who's at the top of his game right now can make a similar pass, and then I look at a youngster who, I mean, he had a guy wide open, he just passed it
too soft
away from him. The ball, like the guy was like perpendicular to him, but he passed it at an angle that put it in the front of the attacker, and we've seen it too many times to like go, that is a part
but it's
of the process.
acceptable from him, right? To me, it's acceptable. It's not acceptable from Zubamendi. I think Zubamendi, was it on?
It's Manchester United.
That game, and then also
he's done a couple times. Yeah,
he's fumbled the ball. He fumbled the ball against Manchester United. He fumbled the ball against Tottenham, and then he also made that sketchy pass back to David Raya, which didn't hurt us, but that happened, I believe, in the Brighton game. Maybe it was Brighton, maybe it was Chelsea, not sure. But either way, if Salmon makes that, I don't care. Like he's 17.
Yeah.
Like that's acceptable. But again, like I'm just wondering and this is the thing, like we're trying to achieve something here. We're 7 points clear in the league. It's funny. I heard someone talk about points on the board or performances, and I'm not trying to have that conversation with you like in a negative way, but I heard someone talking about it, and I really think at this point, at March 10th, 2 months left in the season, man, how are we gonna get over the line? Do you know what I mean? Like that's like I don't like the way we're playing, but I'm also like happy we're putting points on the board.
Yeah.
Like as poor as Brighton was on Wednesday, just abysmally poor. City dropping points at home to Forest, which they didn't get enough stick for that, right?
They won't,
and that's fine. But we put 3 points on the board and went 7 points clear. And given the way I've watched City play, man, I mean that 7 points could still be 7 points after they're done, or maybe 6 points, right? So I'm starting to collect data points. I've got an Excel spreadsheet. I've already made it. I mean, that's how I'm thinking about this now, Gary. Like I'm kind of like performances, but I'm also like, man, put those 3 points for me, and then I know I'm going to get a good performance. I think we've got I think 10 games left, or maybe 9. Is it at this point?
No, there is a potential, if I recall, for us to play up to 19 games.
Yes,
that's the max we can play. Right, we've played more games than I think most teams out there, based on where we are right now. Even I think maybe one or two less than City, but I think in terms of we've played more games than most and definitely every English team. We've got the most wins, we've got the least losses, right? And we're doing this losing everybody in our back line, losing our midfield, losing one of our best attackers, losing our best player, losing our captain, right? Losing there's not been one player who hasn't, had a knock that's been out for at least a game for whatever reason. So we're doing all this, that's we wanted depth. We got the depth. This is what it looks like. So yeah, no, it's I just think he's milking, he's squeezing blood from a stone essentially every match. We're gonna find a way to squeeze out the water from the stone, no matter what it is. And it might be own goal, it might be set piece, it might be open play, it might it might be own goal, right? Everything. We will try it. However the ball wants to go in the net, that's what we're gonna do. Let me go through this chat real quick, and we'll continue on with the. You talked about the Brighton game. We scored early and then held on. I don't think Brighton gave us much of an issue in that game.
Brighton didn't. Yeah.
Let me. He said his work's a commercial 52-seater, 45-foot motor coach. All right, cool. BX Gunner is in the house. Thanks for joining us, BX. He said that team got shattered today, 5-2 to Atletico. They should have that should help their morale in getting relegated for sure. For sure. And I guess if we're here, we might as well just talk about it since you brought it up. I looked at all the games today. Newcastle, who I believe has a really good defense. It doesn't show up every day, but today it did against Barcelona. They are Barcelona. I guess got what they wanted. They go back home, and they're not down a goal. They could have been down a goal or two. Didn't happen, but I think Newcastle may have screwed themselves by the way they finished up that game. Because I think they could have closed it out by just finishing, closing out the game without giving the ball back to Barcelona, but they did, and they got punished for it. But you know what? The fact that they played that way means defense travels. Defense travels. So, if that happens, and I think they may have lost one of their mid defenders, maybe, so that might be an issue for them. I think. So a guy got a yellow card. I don't know which game it was, but that might not help them. But yeah, this score line in those games today was ridiculous.
Galatasaray beating
Yes,
Liverpool at home.
yes. And Galatasaray, I think maybe had a chance to score multiple goals in that game, so they could have been up by 2 goals, And I think both teams had goals written off. One was offsides, one was a handball. But yeah, that could have been a 2-0 game. Could have been a 2-1 game. Liverpool did not look good. I don't know what they can. They'll be playing at home, so maybe they'll win 1-0 and they go to PKs or something.
You know how that one's going to go. It's going to go like probably 60th minute. They'll score a goal and the clock will get going, and they'll score one in the 80th minute and score one in extra time and win 3-1. Now, again, there is a world where Galatasaray sits there and is like, oh, okay, we'll see how long this ball actually.
I don't think they have an answer for Osimhen.
They might not. They might not too. They might not. But I do wonder if the Galatasaray is going to go in there and shithousery the game. I mean, look at some of the players on that team.
They have no reason. They have no reason to open themselves up.
They don't. They absolutely don't. But they will milk it as much as they can. Again, this is the weird thing, right? Look at Liverpool. Liverpool's got Spurs this weekend. Again, like we don't know what's going to happen with that one because we might wake up tomorrow and Spurs have fired Igor Tudor, right? We just don't know.
Yeah, and not only that, but they're down. They were missing one of their top defenders the last game, and now they're missing another one of their top defenders this game. So their back line will be suspect, and Liverpool probably needs that to get a win against them. I think in a regular season it wouldn't matter who they had. But this season, with that team not having a good back line, because they're going to be down and I think probably down their better defender on the back line, it should be easy for Liverpool to get what they want out of it. But this is the NFL. This is the Premier League, and teams show up when you least expect it. So.
And think about this too. Liverpool now 1-0 down in the tie. Spurs down 5-2 in their tie. How did both teams look at this game on Saturday? Do you know what I mean? Like, and that we just don't know.
Yeah, and we want that team to lose.
Hey, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
All right. We want that team to lose, right? I mean, in the Newcastle Barcelona game, like I said, that finished 1-1. It was a late penalty kick for Yamal, and so they go back home with basically just a goal to win. So yeah, and Bayern Munich just Bayern München, as it says here, wins 6-1. It wasn't even close. I mean, they could have probably scored more. Same thing for Atletico Madrid, but 5 goal lead going home. Yipes. Atletico Madrid going to that team up 3 goals. They're just gonna the way that team's playing. So tomorrow's going to be interesting. That's what I was saying about tomorrow. And Steven said he's going back to his driving, so stay safe, my man. There will be some upsets. Well, hopefully not tomorrow, especially in one of the games, right? I don't know because I don't actually know. Tomorrow, do we Like, what upset do we want to see? Because I don't think there's really an upset in any of those games tomorrow,
I tell you,
right? That I see, right? I mean, like Arsenal, I don't believe we'll get upset by Leverkusen, right? The Bodo Glimp and Sporting game, I think people think either way, one of the teams. I don't think either one's an upset. Whoever wins that, Chelsea and PSG, is that an upset if Chelsea wins? Because PSG is supposed to be you know,
you want City to go through, and I say that, or maybe where's the game? Is the first game at Real Madrid or at City?
first game is at Real Madrid.
Okay, so you would probably prefer like a Real Madrid 1-0 win, 2-1, so they're kind of behind the 8 ball for Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, you want City to punch through to the next round because you want them to have to deal with fixture congestion with Bayern Munich.
That would be interesting. Yes.
Yeah. But again, I mean, this is one of those deals where like you want them to knock out Real Madrid. I think PSG beat Chelsea again. The only games Chelsea have lost are to us since Rosoni has been the manager there. So
Yep.
The Sporting Bodo Glimt, like I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. I don't watch enough.
I
Of
think
Bodo Glimt,
yeah, I think Sporting is supposed to be the favorite, right?
Yeah.
But I don't. They're on the road, and Bodo Glimp is probably happy to be playing at home to start this thing off. So
Yeah.
yeah, so sometimes you rather be at home sometimes to start it off, but I don't think but you really want to have the edge to go back home. So we got Tyrell Gunner TV in the house. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you joining us. We're going through our last couple of games, and then we got a comment about the Champions League, so we've been chatting about that. But we're going to go back to I guess we'll go. Is there anything else in the Brighton game that you want to talk about before we move on?
I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to think about Brighton game emotions. I fortunately did not get to watch all that second half. I was working and then driving home, and I remember seeing that it was 2-2, and my mood on the way home was a little irritated because City had gone back up, I believe.
Yes.
And
well, it was City led 1-0 and 2-1.
Yep. And then Forrest tied it, and then I got excited and more excited there. I started caring more about that than I did our game. Weirdly, I did watch the rest of our game, but I was more perturbed when you think about it as a professional get out of Dodge performance. Sure, I just sometimes wonder the space thing again. Like this is who they are. As much as the Brighton game actually irritated me a whole lot more than the Chelsea game did. Regardless of how the Chelsea game, and again, I don't do watch along, so and there's no one here to really confirm or deny what my emotions were, but I definitely was swearing during the last 5 minutes of the Chelsea game because for me, what are we doing here? Like, we need to finish this game out. And I think I said it to you in the text group was, I'm concerned about our ability to string passes together in the midfield. It seems like sometimes we can't, like the last couple games we've had to play we're not playing out from the back efficiently. So we're having to go long. And it's something that we don't see that. If you go back to the Spurs game, and I know I'm jumping around here, but the Spurs game, we had a couple of plays in there where Declan Rice was able to kind of break lines, 2 lines. We're not getting that same. We don't get that same in the middle. We get it from the wings, but there's something in the last 2 games. I don't know if it's something they're doing tactically, but it just feels like we're not controlling the midfield like I feel like we should.
Yeah, I kind of
once we go ahead.
Yeah. I when I watch the games, I complain a little bit about our presence in the middle of the pitch is not there. So no reason why we have to go out long or go outside because there's no presence. We don't have sometimes that player that wants to receive the ball in the middle and go on a half turn up the pitch. And I think eventually, like when we don't take the advantage of the first pass into the middle, we never go back to it. And then we go out wide and then it's, what's going to happen there. Right. And I kind of feel like that's just kind of what I see. Like we need to take what they give us. And usually they give it to us early in the possession. We never take it. And then we go really, and then we have to go either long because there's nothing there. He has to like Ray has to get rid of the ball because like everybody's man marked. There's nobody available to him because they've been standing around too long, and the defenders are all over them. And we don't move, we don't make runs, we don't do all those little things that might open up the game for us. And there's a donut in the middle a lot of times. And we need people to go in there, I think, go in, keep going in and out kind of thing to open it up a little bit so we can go through there. Because we can't break teams down. Yeah. And we need to make the first pass, not try to dribble into danger, which is what we do as well, right? Because we get the ball, and you're like, just pass it now. Nope, we'll hold on to it. One extra pass, one extra step, and then we dribble into danger, and then they're on the counter because for some reason I don't understand how that happens. We dribble into danger, and next they're on a counter, and you're like, oh my, you're scrambling to catch up, and it's like, if you had just made the first pass, it would have called them out, but we don't do that either. So a lot of little things that I think like take what they give us. We don't do that. We try to make them give us something that they don't want to give us, and then when we try to force it, and it's like, no, don't force. You don't have to force it because they will give you the opportunity. We don't take it sometimes. At least I don't feel like we do.
Yeah, I feel like we kill the play sometimes too quickly when we have opportunities to push further, forward faster. Like I think like in that Henri clip, and like I said, I hope they've broken whatever he was talking down about how the game's changed and everything, and how it's like everybody's doing this, but he specifically picked on Arsenal. And there was a play, I think maybe it was the Man United game, and Hickapy could have hit Trossard, but he pulled the ball back and hit it back to Gabriel when there potentially could have been a run. Maybe it was the Villa game. So like the opportunity, like we're missing Odegaard. I know people are probably going to disagree with me on that. I like Eze in the middle. I still think Eze adds value, but I feel like there's times where Odegaard, as much as you don't like he plays deep, he helps link that play sometimes. And
that's because we outnumber them because we have our attacking midfielder playing back with our center backs. It looks better, but it doesn't give us any. We don't get anything for it.
Right
now, because now our most creative player is playing back with the defenders. So
that's playing possession too. Like that's how the game's changed. Like I'm seriously, like the game has changed where we're playing for possession, not really trying to score, but also keep the ball away from them too.
True.
It's insane. It's insane to even say out loud, but when you watch it, you can see it.
Yeah, I mean that's why things look different when Jesus is in, because when he comes in, then instead like Gyökeres and Eze make the game look like what you're saying. Against what you're saying, right? Because they don't want to come back. They want to attack, so they want to be further up the pitch. Right? You see Eze, he's always up there just around the 18 a lot more than he is back by the midline, whereas Jesus was happy to come back and be part of that. Right? Erdogan comes back, and we have more support because we've got a lot of our better players all together. Right? Eze is like, just give me the ball further up the pitch so I can do damage. Right? Gyökeres is like, just make that pass so I can do some damage. And that goes against the whole risk averse thing, right? It's high risk. Like I might get 1 out of 3 passes to you, right? And then we're giving a ball right back to them. But that 1 out of 3 might turn into a goal. And if they break down, that might be 2 out of 3. And that, then your odds of getting a goal are even better because now you've got you've got an Eze or a Gyökeres on the ball going towards the goal. And I kind of felt like sometimes we should be able to do that and take advantage of that and punish teams for that, and we don't. So it hurts them. It hurts them on the pitch.
Well, that's the other thing. He showed later in the clip Eden Hazard and how Hazard would take risk.
Yeah,
and he's talking about nobody in this Arsenal team is willing to take a risk.
Yep,
because they're afraid to lose the ball,
and which doesn't make any sense.
Well,
doesn't make any sense.
The only guy I feel like you have that does that is Havertz at times, and maybe Saka to an extent.
Is he a rebel? What is it?
I don't think it's rebel. I don't think that's the proper term. I do think, and again, I think this is just the game in general at this point, especially what we're seeing in the Premier League, right? Like playing within a system and everything. But I feel like he understands taking the risk because you have to create the risk, right?
Yep.
Like you have to take that. You have to be willing to lose the ball. You have to be willing to take that opportunity. And this is my saving grace here in my mind, thinking about what's going to happen going on forward in the league. But it's like someone like Saka who finally got a goal against Brighton, correct?
Yep.
So now we're sitting here thinking
Oh,
like,
wait,
okay,
against Brian. Yep.
So what are we thinking now? Okay, Saka's got his shooting boots. I don't care that it went underneath the goalkeeper and he did a horrible job on it. Don't care. But if Saka starts banging in goals,
yeah, but he scored because he actually put the ball on target. It got deflected underneath the goalkeeper. But in the past he wouldn't even take that damn shot. So you didn't even have that you didn't have that fluke opportunity where it deflected, because it looked like the goalkeeper missed it, but it was deflected in such a way that he was going one way. Next thing you know, it's coming back a different way under his arms, and he looked like he made a mistake. But the ball was deflected because he put it on target. Like if he takes more of those types of shots where he has a look at goal, there'll be a couple of times that ball might fall to Gyökeres, because the goalkeeper does get a hand on it, but he's standing there with a nice tip in, and you're like, because that's how he scored one of his goals, right? The goalkeeper coughed it, he put it away, but that's because we actually took the shot, it stung the goalkeeper's hands, which is what I like to do, is what I want our attackers to do, sting the goalkeeper's hands. Like if he catches it, that means you put nothing on it. But if you sting his hands, right, that ball's not staying there. It's either going to go past him or it might fall to one of your teammates sitting in the box, right? And that's kind of what I want more of. Like when Saka now crosses it, sometimes I just want him to take that near post shot, right? Goalkeeper will think about it a second time, hesitate, and next thing you know, he's tapping it over to Gyökeres, who tips it in, right? But the goalkeeper knows he's not taking a shot. He knows he's not taking a shot because he doesn't. And I mean take the shot where the goalkeeper is like, ouch, you know?
Yeah.
And I think he's got that in him, right? So BX Gunner says here, only person I want in the 10 is Havertz. I do like that, but he's not healthy right now.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get – I tell you who you might get in the 10, and you're not going to get him regularly, but he is a player that I think we will see in some Premier League games. I don't think we'll see him in Champions League games. I don't think he ever starts, but he's definitely going to be a player you bring in off to give Eze some break, and that's going to be Dauman. I think we'll see Dauman in some games.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we'll get into the last game that we played, because that definitely showcased some things. And I don't care if it's Manfield or not.
Yeah,
because even against Wolves and all these other teams that are terrible, we don't see that. So I don't care. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Look at Wolves.
No. Look at
Wolves we were playing Villa and Liverpool.
No, and they do to us, right? So
yes.
but the same Wolves, when we played them the first time, or the first time or whatever, they weren't looking at Wolves like that, right? When Wolves came to our house, right? They weren't looking at Wolves as the team that we've seen lately. Right, something clicked, right, and it's clicked, and they've been working it well. But I don't think that was a team that came in like the mentality switched, and we didn't really punish them to keep them down. Right, it's one of those things where they were down, and then either us or somebody else gave them a little bit of a lifeline, and they're running with it because they're like, it's house money now. Doesn't matter what they do, but it does.
That's where BX is right about Havertz. Havertz needs to be on the field because he can be our creative link. Yeah. If you go look at the Brighton game, once him and Calafiori came on, it kind of got a little bit better. I never felt – okay, here we go. Chelsea game, I felt threatened we were going to blow it. Brighton game, I never felt we were going to blow it in that leg.
They didn't have anybody that threatened us. That's the thing. But Chelsea does have people that threaten us. So
every time Chelsea got a corner in that game, I was like, oh, pucker factor.
Yeah.
And not because you got done on a corner, but because – of the way the physical. I mean, we've played Chelsea a lot.
Yeah, 4 times. Is it 4 times, 3 times? 4? No, is it 4 times?
It's 4 times at this point. Yeah, because you played them twice in the League Cup and twice in the league already.
Yeah.
So again, if you had to see him again in Champions League, God bless you for it, or FA Cup, whatever. But that would be pretty impressive to beat a team. I think City just beat Newcastle 4 times, and Arsenal beat Chelsea 4 times, but I think City played Newcastle 5 times, also in the FA Cup too.
So no, we drew the first game with them. So
Right. That's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. There you go. So three out of 4. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Different manager that time too.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, I again, points on the board at this point in the league. I want to see good stuff in the Champions League. I guess my expectations are changing based on the competition, if that makes sense. Because I don't know. Because look, you got the League Cup in 2 weeks. Hopefully, you win that. FA Cup, you got another favorable draw at Southampton away. That could still be a difficult game, but it's a championship side. I think they're right outside the playoff range, so they might be coming back up. And you don't know how the league's going to go. You've got a favorable draw in the Champions League, so it's a lot to manage, right? But that's what they pay you for. So, I'm hoping, and my thought here is you got Everton coming up. Just get everybody healthy because we got an international break coming up, right? I think March. Yeah, so
that's a problem I have with that as well.
I know
we're going to get them healthy just in time to send them off. Some of them, hopefully they don't. I mean, Havertz shouldn't go anywhere, but he could, right? If he were to play the next 3 games, or we have 4 games coming up, right? Until the international break, I believe. So, is it 4? Yeah, 1, 2,
4,
3, 4, right? Because it's 4. Is it 4? Yeah, it's 4. It's 4. Yeah. So yeah. So yuck, right?
Well, the good news is you got one on the road tomorrow, and then you get the second leg of that at home. You get Everton at home, and then you get City at Wembley. So
we don't have to leave London except for once. So
well, here's the other thing too with this league running, Gary. Keep this in mind. You've got 2 more road games on this league running. You've got at West Ham and at City. I know Palace is on the final day, but if you can handle your business, it might not matter. It might not. It could be 1989 all over again, but that's a benefit for Arsenal. We're getting some lucky draws here, right? Whatever. The Champions League one that people are criticizing us for, we earned that, period. And Inter shouldn't lose to Bodo Glimt because then
the last 3 seasons in the last 3 seasons in the Champions League?
Yeah.
It hasn't been fun at all for us, right?
No.
It hasn't been fun for us at all. So
Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, no thank you.
We've had so the ball was going to fall a different way, and it did. So
FA Cup has been a good draw too.
Yep. We go to Southampton, so that will be in the Southampton. What am I?
That's the April 5th, I believe.
Yeah, and Southampton is. Oh yeah, that's right. We haven't really ever played anybody in the Premier League yet. And so far we won't have to play them yet. So there you go. I was gonna say, oh yes, get into it here.
Go ahead.
Mansfield game real quick.
Yep.
Last thing, we win 2-1. Could have been 5-1. Could have been whatever. We had more than enough opportunities to score goals in that game. Everybody had a chance. Sack had a chance.
Yep.
Dalman had a chance. I think Madueke had a chance for a brace. Martinelli. I mean, everybody had a chance to get something out of this game. We didn't. But Madueke had a good game, and Eze had a good game when he came on to basically close the door at it. But Dalman definitely shined. And if that's what he looks like after being out for 3 months and only playing 45 minutes, I think he played in the U21, I think. I don't think he played the whole thing. If that's what he's going to do. And, yes, I like it. He looked really good in there. And like you said, late in games, if he's coming on, he's able to do that. That will take, that 1 goal lead or that 2 goal lead and make it 3, maybe the 2 goal lead, but I don't know if he'll come in if it's a 1 goal lead, but maybe the 2 goal lead.
I think you might have to do that. You might have to take that risk. And here's why I'm thinking that, because sometimes you see Eze's gas, someone's gassed, right? We don't know how long Odegaard's going to be out. But here's the thing about him as a 16-year-old. He doesn't know any better.
Yep.
He's going to play within the parameters of the team naturally, but he might take that risk that Odegaard might not take right now.
True.
Or Eze may not take because Eze's worried about maintaining his spot in the team.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about having this ultra competitive, ultra deep squad. A guy goes down with an injury, and all of a sudden now you're frozen out because, I don't know, Calafiori came in. And I mean, think about this. if you would have told us last year about this time, man, Lewis Skelly's barely going to get on the pitch, we'd have been like, okay. We would have laughed at people. But look at what's happened, right? Cali Flores came in, made the position himself, and Cappy's come in and shown that he can play that position too. Mascara can play it. Can play right back too, which again, like that's the unfortunate thing about Saturday. If Miles Lewis Skelly hadn't been on that FA ban for the yellow card, man, you'd love to see him potentially in the middle of the park like they wanted to do against the Wigan game. So that's kind of the unfortunate stuff there as far as, what you can do and what you're going to teeter with. But I'm interested to see how this running's going to go with the Dowman. That game was so early in the morning. We haven't had a lot of those, Gary, like where we've had to get punished to get up that early on a Saturday. Yeah. I know you're up anyway. Like I wake up and you're like 6:50 texting people. I'm like, okay, all right. And I don't want to say slept through the game, but I was never worried about Mansfield. I maybe that was just me. It was 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was just going through the motions.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about it, but I wanted our performance to be better.
Yeah, and
I think our performance being better meant the players that are on the pitch actually were able to showcase what they had, and they weren't able to do that. So, like, does that give Arteta pause when he says, did I get something out of this game? Like, can I build on this game? And some players, no. Martinelli, no. Right? Calafiori getting injured again, going out with an injury. I think he's back practicing, but that's not good for him. Salmon getting minutes, I think, was really good. Right? He got 62 minutes. We're taking that.
I thought Dixon was good when he came on too.
Yeah. I think the nice thing that Arteta's done, and people complained about in the beginning, is these youth are getting the minutes now, and they're getting what I feel are good minutes, not just like not the 5 minutes at the end of a match to say, you know what, no, like I don't think Salman may have got 5-10 minutes late in the game, but he's shown that he can play within this system. All right, we know Dalman can, we know Ethan can, so like. We've got like nice things coming down the pipe. Like you said, Dixon comes in. He signs a contract this January, I think it was. Right, really I think he's just something like that. And now he's playing in a cup match, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll play Southampton on the road. I expect Salmon and Dalman to make the trip if they have space for them. Definitely Dalman, but I don't know about Salmon. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing that's exciting here, and I know BX brought up a comment, the way MLS and Ethan have been treated as poor. Mm-hmm. I can see that, especially. Well, here's where I would argue and agree with you is like the fact that Salmon's gotten minutes and Dalman's gotten minutes, right? But again, I think Saturday, if he doesn't have the ban, he's playing pretty much the whole game. Skelly is. The Ethan thing, I don't like, but
wait, repeat that again. If what?
Oh, if Skelly didn't have his ban, he would have played the whole game probably on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, I think he's had the bad luck in the sense that he's not playing on the back line. Yeah, like he's not playing there because we just like he's a midfielder for us.
Well, that's where I know we haven't had a chance to throw him in there.
But when he did, we had an injury on the back line, so then he had to go back, right? Right, so that's the thing. So he's had bad luck in that sense. The timing just hasn't been right. The thing is, he has to be able to adjust because he's a professional now, and make sure Arteta knows that he's fine adjusting because that's been the thing. He's come in and not looked good, playing a position he played in last year. So he shouldn't be worse now after a year of playing in that way because maybe that's the whole youth thing. Not get he's used to getting tons of minutes and now he's like got to pick and choose. He doesn't get to have a game off because he plays the next one. He just has to play the one he's got in front of him. The minutes he's got. Don't waste a trip. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't waste a trip. And he's kind of to some degree been wasting it a little bit when he's had that opportunity to go out there and showcase. Because I think Arteta likes that, right? If Norgard, I think, came out and played the back line and was terrible, I don't think we would have seen what we're seeing. You know what I mean? Like these older guys, professional guys, sometimes have to play out of position, and then they still do a job. So he has to be able to do his we know he can do a job on the back line. He has to continue to do that when called upon, so he can get that midfield role when it's available. Because I think it'd be really good in the midfield, but I think that's the point. That's the problem. I think Arteta has to trust him a little bit more, and the only way he's going to do that is if his football is good, right? If his form is good, if his performances are good, and they haven't been. And I can't be because he's not getting minutes. You know what I mean? He's going to have to learn how to be able to not get the minutes but still perform because that's what Arteta requires now in this team. So yeah, I think MLS. I think it's his performances that are hurting him. Ethan, I just don't think like I told you, if he's not going to play him, then he's got to let him go grow, right? Right, and Dalman just maybe just it's bad luck for Ethan that Dalman got injured too, and now he's come back, and now we're seeing this. We're going, ooh, because but I think they're two different players. I think Dalman is probably potential is higher than Ethan. Oh, but I think that startled me. You can only imagine what it does to you.
Sorry.
No, it's no problem.
No.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
I was thinking about this too. Like, I think there's a world where if you sat down Arteta in a room and you're like, hey, dude, did you want Ethan to go? He probably says no. Not because based on what he knows now, I think Ethan.
No, but he knew that. He knew that then.
But I think
he knew what would happen if he let him go.
I don't think they did, but I don't think they thought it was going to be as bad. I mean, we're playing. This is the thing that I'm worried about, Gary. Like this whole running here, right? And it's man management. We've talked about this in the past, but I think if Ethan's on this team right now, I think he's pushing Eze. And I think there may be games where Ethan may have got the turn over Eze.
I think they should have played more minutes early part of the season. Yeah. Ethan probably deserved it, as they should have gotten it anyways because he comes in with experience. Like we did not get them. They should have been acclimated a lot sooner.
Yeah,
it's like Arteta was kind of like didn't want to mess up the apple cart kind of thing. It's like, dude, you've got some really good skilled players. Do not hold them back, right? Do not hold him back. And I think he Erdegaard could have started all those games, but he could have come off and given Eze 30 minutes, Ethan 30 minutes, whoever the case might be. And I don't think they even got that sometimes, or they played together, whichever one it was. All right. Let me go through the chat real quick and we'll continue on. Erdegaard is broken physically and mentally, in my opinion. I think the physical part is probably more the case for me because I feel like physically, if he's not up top for me, that means like the fact that he's playing further back probably means he's not physically there. Right? For me. Like we've seen Havertz come back from whatever injuries, and the first thing he did was go up there and was pressing from the front. Right? So him physically is there. Erdegaard, not so much. It's not the same. So the mental part, I think, is triggered by the physical part for me, which is sometimes cool. Yeah, these are two exciting prospects that are losing value. I don't know. I don't think Dalman's losing value. Ethan, I think, needed more minutes. I think it's a good experience. We've seen he's gone through a lot, right? He started off with a bang, had a little bit of a dip. He just come back and performed again. So I think that's the experience he's not going to get with us.
I think he was talking about Skelly. He was talking Skelly and Ethan.
Skelly, well, okay, yeah, I don't think Skelly's losing a value. I think he just burst on the scene a lot faster than he probably should have, right? Because of the injuries we had. Whereas if he was building up to this, then he probably would, we wouldn't have started anything. Like an 18-year-old coming into this squad where we want to be. Not too many 18-year-olds on the back line and doing what he's done. All right.
I think they want to move Skelly. Yeah. They want to move Skelly to the midfield. I really think they want to.
No, I don't think they had a chance to.
Yes, I don't think we haven't put ourselves in a position where you could say, hey, we're up 2 or 3-0. Skelly, go out there and play 30 minutes in midfield for us.
True.
And finish this game out. We haven't had
that. Last year didn't give him the opportunity to build on whatever he had coming in from the academy either. So like our injuries have set his back his progression. Whereas Ethan, he's only playing where he's playing. All right. Mm-hmm. When he comes in, he's playing where he's supposed to play. When he doesn't play and he does come in off the bench, he's playing where he's supposed to play. It's like, Skelly, we might need you on the back line today. And that's how it is. And you're our backup fullback. So I'm not putting you in the midfield. That's, and you're not starting, but you're not playing in the midfield because I need you as my backup fullback. Right. So he's getting it. both ways. Where Ethan, he's just coming in and playing his position, so he can work on that. And I think that that will give him a little bit more maturity in that sense, right? Because now he has to come off the bench and play, which he's done before, but now he's only playing in that one role. So I think it could be a good thing there. Ethan was doing what Darwin is doing, and he's been axed. I don't think that Ethan's getting axed as much as either we build on his career or we don't. And I think Dauman, I don't know about how you feel, like Dauman and Ethan. I think Dauman has more. His potential is bigger.
Yeah, I think Dalman's got a bigger ceiling.
Yeah.
Although I think it's still kind of unfair to say that without.
Yeah, but what 16-year-old looks like that? Maybe a Yamal,
Probably.
right?
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like potential. Like you see them out there on the. Do they? You know, the reason why he doesn't get to play for us as much as one is our system doesn't allow him to. So there's a lot of things he probably still has to do.
well,
Before he
we've
gets,
seen the transition to a double pivot at this point, where we're kind of at the point of, I think he's seeing, I've got a couple gems here that can't play as 8s, but they play probably good as 10s. I'm just also wondering, like with Dauman, like, do you potentially, hey man, can you play left wing for us? You know what I mean? Like,
he's done that. I mean, everybody. Ethan's had to do it.
Yeah.
Almonds, I believe, was doing that when he came in late in games, right? Against Leeds, I believe he came in as a left wing, right? And came off actually came as a right wing, came off the right side, cut inside, and drew the penalty, right? So I think you have to be able to be flexible. And
I think we like Dauman and Ethan so much because of how direct they are.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see, so here's the thing, we don't see that as much with our players, or maybe we're blinded so much by Rice's pass it back, soft play at times that we miss the times he makes those runs.
Yeah.
So I feel like when we see a new toy come in, and it's like BX said, like when the new toy comes in, you want to see the new toy go. And I again, like we're kind of the point of this season right now at this point, 7 points clear in the league, game in hand. But the way City's play, it's not a guaranteed 3 points right now.
Yeah. No, we just have to right now. The magic number is 6, which is less than what it was a week ago. A week ago it was 7, right? Now it's 6, right?
Crazy, right?
A little bit. Sorry, it's one. Now it's 2 games less than the games available, right? Whereas last week it was 3 games. It was 1 game less. So that magic number delta keeps going down. We're good, right? So we just have to win our next. We win ugly. Who cares? Just win.
Yeah.
And then when we get into that City match, we'll see where we stand. It might not mean anything. It might mean everything. So
you think about it. You're talking about that City match. Let me pull this up real quick. That's April 18th, which or 19th, I believe, at this point. That you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches left. Total of 15 points. That game's going to mean something, but whether you have to pick up 3 points there is completely 2 different arguments. You want to pick up 3 points there, but I think if you pick up 3 points that the Etihad, I think you beat them.
That is a 6-pointer for us. For them, it's a 6-pointer as well. But I think it might not mean anything because we still have to win. I think for me, I like to think it's bigger for us to get the 3 points there than them, because I think it would just finish them off. I think it just finished them off if we do that, as opposed to the.
Well,
I guess it goes either way. Let me go through this chat real quick. Sorry, before I forget. Brenny's in the house. Thanks for joining us. Brenny says morning, evening, gents, and big up the chat. Yes, thanks for joining us. Yeah. You were talking about we're just looking good like a new toy. Yeah, Ethan ripped up the academy, but I don't know if he had the same kind of thing as Dauman did coming out of the academy. And Cheeto Martin also ripped up the academy. We saw what that means now. So, but I think that Dauman being, I don't know, a bigger, taller player than him and a lot more silkier on the ball than Dauman, we see it, right? I mean, he's like, I haven't seen Ethan do what Dauman did in the preseason against Newcastle, right? Where they're basically chopping him down because he's making him look silly. Ethan probably can do it. Maybe he's been he's been he's been nullified by Arteta, but we're seeing Dauman do it, and he's been allowed to do it more. So maybe Arteta trusts him more to do it. I don't know why he would. They both players deserve the same kind of trust. It wasn't that long ago. I get Dauman his goal is good, but he's not head and shoulders above Ethan. Like I said, I think I think like you said, the ceiling I think is bigger for Dauman.
You're talking actuals versus potential.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I want both of them to play. You know me. I wanted Ethan to play. I've been asking for minutes for months. And if you're not going to get minutes, then he has to go play somewhere else. And maybe the injuries have come at the right time for Dauman, and it's just a luck that kind of hurts Ethan. But I think Ethan comes back having built on his game. We'll be all right. Got Bargav in the house. His big up Tony. Tony's not here, but Spencer is.
Everybody thought it was Tony.
Big up Gary. Yes. Oh, that's Spencer Bargav. Gary, there is too many people not taking your advice. They're wasting it. There's a lot of footballers, a lot of sports athletes around the world wasting the trip. They have opportunities to shine and they're not doing it. So yeah. No, wasting the trip. They are definitely, they have an opportunity. I think that, like I said, that Mansfield game was an opportunity for players to showcase what they got and they didn't. And they should have. I think Martinelli should have had fun. Ethan, I think Dauman. Reason why I guess even though he didn't score, he did create a lot of mess in there, and we should have scored from it, but we didn't. Sorry, I read the thumbnail. Big up, Spencer. Oh yeah. Ethan did it the previous preseason. You know what he did, but I remember what he did in his preseason. In his preseason, he would make a spin on a half turn in the midfield and go running, but he never punished them immediately in the goal in the final third. So that's what I remember seeing when he first came in. Whereas Dauman in the preseason was punishing players in the final third. So yeah, that's a difference that I see between the two. Maybe that's what they're being asked to do. Ethan can punish players in the final third. He's probably more likely going to shoot, and Dauman is probably going to get you to knock him over. Gary, is your memory really that bad? No, I just told you the difference between the two. I think Dauman stood out totally different in preseason than Ethan did. If you remember those preseason, the preseason when Ethan came in with Skelly, right? They looked really good. I want them to play, but Dauman in the preseason looked different. So, and I think the difference is there's a difference that we want. We want somebody who looks more threatening. Dauman looks more threatening to me. Ethan can be, but he didn't look that, right? So, still think he has a part to play. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everybody that's definitely Ethan being away or Skelly, whoever you're talking about, they'll have a part to play, and they should be here for a bit. Erdegaard should be sacrificed to get them minutes. Yeah. It's hard to do that to your captain. I think I tend to put a lot of trust into him. So we have a ton of young talent quality. We do. We've got another player that I just saw they put up there. It looks like he might be good. How much longer do we expect Skelly to be starting? Well, he's 18, 19, playing in the roles that he's expected to play. I don't think there's that many players that are not in their low 20s that are starting. So I think they're ahead of the curve. That's the thing. Ethan, Skelly, ahead of the curve, right? So I think we're rushing it, thinking that we need to rush it. We don't. A year or two from now, they could be starting, but they don't need to be starting today. At least that's what I don't know what you feel about that. I mean, should Skelly be starting for us in the midfield?
Yeah, I mean it's to me it's the logical.
So you're saying that he should be starting, like he should be part of our starting rotation. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, you should be a guy like, hey, Zubamindi, you need time off. We're going to start Rice and Skelly today. Or, hey, Rice, you're going to sit down. We're going to start Zubamindi and Skelly. Like, I think we're getting close.
That's why I thought Norgard.
Well, Norgard's the more likely because he's ready. Like, he's now ready. Whereas, like, Skelly, like, I think that's something you're going to see more next year potentially. I do, and I sat here and thought about this for about 5 minutes while you were talking, and maybe I've been thinking about it for the last couple days. There is potentially a world where, if Arsenal win this title or don't, this is Odegaard's last season. Not because he's not good enough anymore, but I feel like he might want to move on, especially if we win something here, and maybe not. But again, when I think about who's coming in, who we have here, who the future is, you have to maintain the team in their prime. I mean, if this team achieves a quad as a what if, wins Champions League, wins everything, it's not gonna get any better than that. And again, I don't know. Because Ethan, does he does that make Rice the logical captain? Like, we forget how good Odegaard is, right? But health is now becoming an issue.
Skelly. Odegaard is good.
Yeah.
Rice is doubly good.
Yeah.
For me. Like now his talent, not only his talents, but everything. Like we talk about the intangibles. Like who said jump on my back? I'll get you there, right? I'll get you there. Like Erdogan's not doing that. You know what I mean? Rice is like, come on, I got you. I'll show it to you, or I'll show you what you need to do. Like if we had like 11 Rices on the pitch, it wouldn't even be close, right? Like we know he plays on two speeds, on or off, right? We see that, right? On or off, and like he's the engine in that middle of the pitch, like in that on that team in the middle of the pitch. I mean, Gabriel could be, but he's sitting too far back, right? Because I feel like you would get the same thing out of Gabriel, but Gabriel's got the back locked down, and Rice is allowed to roam up a little bit more. So, but yeah, no.
I think that's part of the issue too. Like, and this is what we saw in the last 3 years of the whole cute football of passing and tricks and flicks and all this stuff has now turned into a semi-pragmatic way of playing, which again, I get my point being is I've watched Odegaard progressively change with the way the team has changed, and he's the captain, so he ultimately pushes what the manager's vision is. And I don't think Arteta purposely wants this to be pragmatic, and I'm not trying to start that conversation, but I feel like he's tried multiple ways to win this title, and I think this is the way he wants to go. So Odegaard has kind of embraced the mentality of be safe. But I also think like Odegaard's issue that I think for me bothers me is his inability to stay healthy. Like, got hurt last year around the international break, right? Got stepped on. And this year he's been kind of hit or miss, and now we're missing him, coming to a crucial time. My whole point being is I feel like Odegaard, we forget how good Odegaard is, but we've also watched him grow up as an Arsenal captain, and he's not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, we know people that can't stand Odegaard as captain. I guess I'm doing a snapshot of 4 or 5 years in my head of Odegaard and where I've seen him and where I've seen him go, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of lost in my thoughts as I say this to you, but I could see a world where he punches out and moves on.
Yeah. No, I mean I could see that, and
I don't want him to go.
It would be easier for him to go if we win something, because he would have been the captain to start the season on a team that won a trophy, or trophies, depending on how good we are at the end of the day. So,
but I feel as intelligent as he is on the football pitch, and as intelligent as Rice is, I thought we'd get a little bit more free flowing from Odegaard this season.
Yep.
Because you have that guy you can trust.
Yep.
But he leads our press. There's things he does. I still see value in him as our captain. I know because
I want him to lead our press. That's the problem. He can't. Right?
He can't right now. He's injured. But
yeah, no, he couldn't. Even when he came on, he wasn't really doing that to some degree. I mean, we still.
He was very unfortunate in that.
We still saw your caress out there pressing, huh?
he was very unfortunate in that Brentford game, to get the knock he got, and I'm assuming that's the same knee that he's had issues with. So I don't know. It's
you know what? It does. He, more than likely he'll probably still be here next year. But like, if he wanted to go, it's probably easier for him to go on a good note. The team will get some monies for him, more money for him if we won a trophy than if not.
Yeah,
so it might be even harder for him to go if we don't win anything. But but other players might go, so it might make you might be, people might leave.
We're gonna have a little bit of a clear out. I think you're gonna see people like Jesus punch out. Contract will be up, which thank you, but you got to go. The Odegaard one, I'm not advocating for him to leave when I bring this up. But when my concern now isn't what I'm seeing from his ability, it's your availability at this point.
Yep.
We're in a crunch time of the season.
Yep.
You're not available.
Well, I kind of felt part of me also feels like he's getting pushed, like he's getting rushed back, and we probably don't need to do that. We shouldn't have done that. Where we stand right now, like we built a team with depth, he shouldn't have had to be rushed back in.
Is that on him too, though? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
I'm fine, coach. I'm good. I can play.
But then you look, well, that's the thing, and it's part of that. So a lot of times I feel like the coach knows what he can give me. Like he's seen Erdogan at his healthiest, right? And so he knows what he's going to get out of him when he has the practices and stuff, and he's coming back from injuries and stuff like that. Like Saka, for me, seems like he was playing slow from day one anyway. So I always felt like, can we speed it up a little bit, Saka? But nobody's been able to punish him for being as slow as he is, anyways, in terms of decision making and what he's doing. Like he's not gonna do run by you, right? But he's gonna still make you pay, right? He'll get by you when he feels like it, as opposed to like somebody who needs to have that speed and stuff. But he's not going to do that. So I think that's how Saka's been able to maintain. So even when he's not 100%, which I still feel like he's not. He isn't. Him on the ball is just something that when we don't have anywhere else. Right, he still has 2 and 3 players coming at him, and he's playing, I think, on one leg. It seems.
Well, that's why,
right?
I still think he's been good for us this year. But that's why, a person like Dauman kind of, Madueke offers something, right? But Dauman's a little bit more of a. We've seen him play the right wing. He got the penalty against Leeds. The availability. I think these players sometimes lie to the medical staff about how they feel to get back out there playing again.
Yeah. But at some point, you've seen the same thing multiple times, and you're like, I can't punish my team because you're lying to me. You know what I mean?
You've coached before. When a guy says I'm good to go, you take them at their word.
Yeah.
And then you watch it and you're like, you were not good to go.
Yeah. And so then you second guess them. That's where the trust comes from, and that's where the trust gets lost. And then you're like,
player lies 100%. Look at Havertz, right? Let's go with Havertz, right? So Havertz comes back, right? Plays the 1 half or maybe whatever it was, and he's injured again. I think that's a prime example of I kind of rushed myself back because I saw my spot being threatened.
Yeah.
This running is going to be interesting, man.
For me, that's one of those things where at some point, in that which game was it? The team that team played today when they pulled the goalkeeper after the 3 goals, right? And you're like, should they have done that? Does that mean that goalkeeper is done? Is he done now? Is he done for now? Because you pulled him after the 3 goals that had given up some. I guess a couple of them were his mistake, and one was another person in front of him's mistake. But he was sitting there, and that's where they don't have they had their captain on the pitch, and he's supposed to calm things down. He didn't do a good job, right? Because your goalkeeper at that point, after the first one, you got to calm him down. All right, didn't happen because you don't have the right leadership out there. If that's Rice sitting there, right? Rice is probably chatting to him, calming him down. We got this. You know, doesn't matter. We still got this. You made a mistake. That's cool. Get it back later, right? But let's calm it down. Didn't happen, and then he got bang bang. Next, he's out the game, and that's
Yeah.
that's the kind of I don't know. I don't know where I went with that one. But let me go through this chat real quick, and we'll continue on. Erdogan needs to move on, says Brenny in the summer. If he was at another club like that team, Chelsea, West Ham, would our fans rate him? I don't think so. I think you
I
could
think
see
we
the
would.
talent. You could see that the talent is there, right? So if that talent was still being displayed, you go, he's a good, talented player. He's injured, and now he's on a worse team, right? He's on a worse team. He's on one of those teams, so he probably looks worse. So like it doesn't like it's relative, right? He's playing on a better team with us, and he's struggling because he's on a better team than us. It doesn't look as bad. He looked even worse the way those teams are playing right
Yeah, I
now.
got to respectfully disagree on that one. I understand the comment of where he's coming from, but I mean, it's like Enzo Fernandez, right?
Mm.
People like him, but if we watched Enzo week in and week out, I'm talking 90 minutes.
Because he's
There's
on a
things
bad
about
team.
his game that would irritate us. It's the
He's on
same
a,
thing with Odegaard. Like we watch enough of him to know his ticks and things that irritate us.
yeah.
I get what Brenny's saying. I just got to disagree on it.
Yeah,
I get what he's saying.
I think he's a talented player. He wouldn't been showcased as much because the team is worse. So it kind of you can't get that stink off you kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's all stinky around you, and you're gonna smell a little bit as well. But
It could also
the
be
talent is there. Like for example, it's hard to be a Bowman, right? It's hard to be a Bowman no matter what. He stands out, right? And would Erdegaard stand out like that? Probably not, because he's dependent on too many things, right?
I think Odegaard would stand out. I
Yeah.
think he would be if he was at West Ham right now. He'd almost be like Jack Grealish was at Aston Villa.
No, well, they're gonna knock him over, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Even with Arsenal, they knock him down, and then they get into his head that way. Like they knock Bowman over, he gets back up. You know what I mean? That's
He
the
probably have to
difference,
change
right?
the way he plays, but
Mm.
I don't know. We're probably not going to
But
agree on it.
you know what I mean? Like that's what I feel like. Like you got really good players on other teams, on those same teams, and they're not being able to showcase this, because the team sucks. But Odegaard is joining Arteta's staff. I don't know about that. Apparently, Erdogan is far to coach the club professionally. I'm sure at one point he'll play under him. Maybe when he's finally done with football, he'll do that. But I don't see he's not at the point there. Yeah, he's a glorified squad player. If he was healthy, and you know what, you got to go back to that 15 when he scored those 15 goals, right? And it's like Saka was. They were both kind of moving in a certain direction, and injuries set them back, right? I think Saka is like for me a better player, a better footballer. So that's why you don't see the drop off as much, even though there is a drop off there because his level is a lot higher than what he's showcasing. But once again, own goals and not being clinical in front of goal is not on him because he's still creating. I think he should score more because he should take more shots. But I think like the creativity is there for Saka, it's not there for Erdogan. Right. So I think even as poor as Saka's doing, he's probably should have more assists than he does. And that's part on his teammates and part on own goal taking him away from him. So, yeah. All right. So I think we've gone through the Mansfield game. We're going to be playing. Who are we going to be playing next?
Southampton.
So we got Leverkusen tomorrow, and then Southampton on the weekend. Leverkusen. I think we're going to have only two players out. White and Moreno are the only players that. Oh, what? No, White and Erdegaard. Moreno is definitely out, but White and Erdegaard won't be available for us tomorrow. So we can go pretty strong. Pretty strong. I think you think Hincapia or Calafiori, right?
Oh, Hincapie.
All right, so there you go. So in our midfield, of course, will be Zubamendi, Rice, and Eza.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, that's yeah. I mean, you
Okay,
can't.
so and if if Havertz is healthy, I don't think we're going to start him tomorrow. Rather start him against in the weekend, maybe against Southampton after he's had some minutes.
Yeah, I
But
think. Yeah, I think you bring Havertz in from the bench because I think you're also thinking about getting his fitness up because he did what 60 on Saturday. Yeah, it
mhm.
makes sense to bring him off the bench and because then you got to think about the push um,
Yeah,
for the last part of this week too because you still got there's three. Yeah,
yep, yep.
um,
And our front line, of course, would be Saka, Gyökeres, and
Trossard if he's healthy.
okay,
If not, I'm actually tempted to start Martinelli. Martinelli's really good in Champions League.
he is, but I don't know. Like I said, is that stink from English football gonna stay with him? Because he didn't
Well,
look good over. He didn't look good over. He didn't look good over the weekend.
I
And that was a
no,
cup match.
I'm starting him. I'm starting him.
Okay, that was a
He's
cup
been
match.
he's been good. He's been so good in Champions League. Yorker has been good at Champions League.
Yeah.
I trust it
All right. Like I said, I don't think we can go wrong either way. I think we
because I think if you can save Trossard for the weekend
yeah,
or a more physical game
yeah,
against Everton, I think that's ideal.
yeah. Trossard and Havertz would be nice to see that. So, like I said, I think we've got good answers for questions, right? So we
Yeah.
just need them to be healthy answers. Let's see. Brenny says, not saying all our fans. Some rate Martinelli better than Rodrigo. We have a bias when some of our fans are not honest when it comes to rating certain players. Oh, I don't know. I don't know who said Martinelli is
Yeah.
better than Rodrigo at
I-
their healthiest. I don't think anybody. I don't know who said that. That he has potential to be better than Rodrigo, but we've yet to see it. Rodrigo has been good for his team, so there you go.
I do 100% believe if Martinelli was in La Liga right now, he'd be banging in 20 to 25 goals, and he would be like a £100 million transfer to the Premier League. I do believe that. But Rodrigo is better than Martinelli. I mean, that's accurate.
Cool. Got Stan, the man in the house. Thanks for joining us, Stan. You can check him out. Usually on some Thursday nights, he'll be out there. We've tweaked our formation to now incorporate a true 10 that's bringing the best out of Eze, but Erdegaard there and he'll thrive. Yeah, that if he's healthy, yeah.
Have we seen Odegaard playing the 10 this year for us? Really? Or when he comes on the pitch, do they change it to almost a 4-3-3 and he plays as an 8?
Yeah, I don't know what you call it, but I just like still have it etched in my head that he's playing between the center backs. So, I don't.
That's a little. He's playing a little bit higher than that.
No, but
But
I've seen him, and I've
Yeah,
called it out too many times for it to
right.
be
You've
a
seen it,
one-time thing.
but you've seen it in one phase of the game, not the whole total player positioning for the whole game. Because sometimes he does drop back deep to get things going. Which again, if you have him play as a 10, I think it would just his skill set's there, man. We forgot how good this guy was.
He's not healthy, so it's hard to see it now.
I mean, if Saka's going to get the benefit of the doubt of not being healthy, then I think Odegaard should get the same benefit of.
I don't think they're at the same level because I think Saka at 80% and Erdegaard at 80%, totally different. There are levels to this thing.
Different positions too.
No, there's levels to it. What I mean is that Saka at 80% and Erdegaard at 80%, the levels are different. So like the quality of the play, if you said form, it would be worse for Erdegaard, is what I'm saying. Saka, I think is plays at a higher level even when he's injured. Because when Erdegaard's injured or playing with an injury,
potential. If you're
I'm just talking about like just where they should be. So yeah, so I that's kind of what I feel. Is Erdegaard still battling postpartum? You guys need to stop that. Stop that. He's just. I think he's under. I don't think any of that has.
I mean,
I kind of felt like there's so many distractions in the world today. I'd be hard pressed to think that like that is like I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it, but I'd be hard pressed to believe that is why you're playing bad. Because that means, because you're playing for someone sometimes, right? You see football players all the time. They're playing for someone, right? You're telling me like that's going to be a reason why you play bad? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think any player does that.
I
So
think he's
I'm
just been
trying. I'm
injured.
trying not to. I'm trying not to say that because I've seen that bring up multiple times, and I kind of hate that thought because that's like nah. That's like when people praise to somebody, and then you're like, but when you had a bad day, what happened? You know that kind of thing.
Well, if both of us are praying for it, then again,
But you know what I mean? Like
I don't think you should pray for football matches. Like that's not the purpose of prayer. But anyway, that's a
yeah,
different.
no, but like I said, but that's
I
what
know
happens.
what you mean. I know what you mean. No,
So like I
100%.
said, I kind of felt like I don't even like that comment because I feel like players don't do that.
Yeah.
Because they have so many. So if it's not this, it's something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So it might just be the relationship that you're going through, and like they still perform when that's happening. So
I mean, I could understand like if a player's like had a parent that was going through like a sickness, that's going to impact you 100%, no question.
Yeah.
But that's when the club tries to help you out get through things mentally, like with a psychologist or whatever.
True.
Being a new parent could be an impact, but I don't. The issue with Odegaard is injuries. Like his ability to stay healthy has all of a sudden disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean, this before my time, but Jack Wilshere, didn't he fall apart? So I mean, sometimes that happens. You get one injury and then that's it. So I like Odegaard. I think he's got value. I just need him to get healthy. We're going to need him to finish this season out. Yeah. So if that means he don't play until after the international break, then so be it.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe there won't be a spot for him because the Adalman will just show everybody why he needs more minutes, and then we'll be like, you know what? There's just no minutes. I don't have a square to spare, kind of thing.
Well, or even Eze say, "Yep, this is my spot. You're not taking it back."
True. And we know what we're going to get from Eze because we've seen it a lot more. So you know he's going to have to work hard for it to get back, which is what we wanted. I love Martinelli, but except he's an excellent squad player. So far for us, he is 20-goal scorer in Italy, Germany, and Spain. Says Beeks Gunner, probably. But you know what? Maybe we've seen a lot of players go to those nations and they're not doing what we're saying they would probably do. So I think it's maybe I didn't forget how good Odegaard was. I always knew he's bang average since he's been 15 years old. That's VX Gunner. So Real Madrid made a mistake then. They didn't think he was that good, right? Is that what you're trying to say? I think they see talent and they probably know a little bit about talent. So I would go if Real Madrid thought he had talent, I think they, I think they knew something. So
he's a polarizing player
because that's like Cazorla, like had talent, was playing with big clubs and stuff, came to us and saw what you got there. So I kind of felt like what the talent's there, you just need an opportunity to showcase it.
Yeah.
Odegaard is destined for a mid-table club in England. He's probably shined more in Italy. I don't know if it's hard to go from Arsenal and take a step down unless you leave and come back like Xhaka or something like that. I don't see him taking a step down in England anyways. They have an opportunity to go somewhere, like you said, Europe and do things. The thing is, to win multiple trophies, we need good squad players. We got good squad players. So that's why we are where we are right now. We wouldn't be where we are without good squad players.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And we've had to tap all of our resources. Outside of Raya, nobody else has been immune.
Yeah.
And I'm knocking on wood when I say that. I mean, I think Kepa could do a job for us, but I just feel like, we've had to use all of our players to get where we are, right? So, yeah. Cazorla, come on, Gary. Santi he was world class, but he wasn't like starting every day, right? If I recall, when he came in, he wasn't starting every day. He had to, before he got to us, he's a world class talent for sure. But was he doing that before he came to us? I don't know. Right, and that's what I mean. Like sometimes a world class talent doesn't get to play every day because sometimes there's just somebody ahead of them that might be better. Yeah. That's why I said it. I hear you. Because I always had it in my head, and I have to look this up now. No. Santi at Malaga is why we signed him. Yeah. And I thought he also Why did I have him playing somewhere else?
He's still playing, right?
Malaga, yeah, he's still playing. He's playing at Oviedo right now. I mean,
40 years old.
Yep, three goals, 74. Yeah, Malaga, that's right. Yep, yeah. I mean, I think about it. At Malaga, he had 9 goals in 38 appearances. That's not world class numbers, right?
I think his argument is that
The talent is there, but that's what I'm
before my
saying.
time, so I can't really speak to Sandy
Yeah,
Gazzola. I'm not even going to fake it. I just
yeah.
a
No,
little,
I
little bit.
remember watching Cazzola because he was there. You know, like I said, when I first started watching, it was around 2012 is when he joined. So yeah, yeah. So world
I mean,
class
I've seen
talent, but like,
highlights and stuff like that, but
yeah,
BX is right. Goals don't define midfield
yeah,
prowess. They really don't. It's part of
yeah,
it, part of the
yeah.
story.
No, he definitely helped out there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear that, but then that's where. So then you should like Erdogan then, because like you said, goals don't define midfield prowess, right? So
I mean,
if you're gonna say that,
yeah, be consistent.
BX, then Erdogan does the same thing because his pressing up top, his support from the back, is all those types of things that makes the clock tick, that make the game, the engine turn over. So if you're gonna say that, you need to also look at Erdogan the same way then, because that's what he does, right? That's what
So
he was doing for us.
overall, this is from Footy Stats.
So, you brought up that you said goals don't matter. All
Who,
right.
me?
No, he said
No.
he said goals don't matter. So I'm saying the things that Erdogan was bringing to us is why I liked when he was out there are the things that made the game work for us,
To
right?
me, Odegaard is the adult that calms the room down.
Yeah. Erdogan isn't doing what Santi was doing. No, but you didn't say what they did, and that's it. There's only one way to do it, and it's what Cazzola did. That's not the way it works.
Well, again, I still think
Right?
again, if I can find that Henri clip, I'll send it to you and BX.
Yeah.
But the way he talked about the game has changed. Again, he went back, and I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
one of the plays he showed was a Sandy Cazorla play, and then a couple of Eden Hazard plays, and like
Yeah.
the space, and like there was more room for creativity. Where now everything is congested.
Yeah.
Like it's different.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not like the time when
it's
Ozil and all them were out there
definitely a
flipping
different
off their
football.
head.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Cazzola played in a different football, but like I'm saying, I think there are things that Erdogan was bringing. If he was healthy and clicking, he might have the same stats, but the team would be better for it, right? Because he would open it up for somebody else to do this
yes.
to shine, right? All right, and that's kind of we'd be fine with that. All right, and that's kind of like, and that's the thing. I saw Santi when starting for Spain and Arsenal. Erdegaard doesn't have the same, or I don't think we've seen like you're talking about. A Santi who probably was a lot older than um than my man was, right? So
I'll
that's
say
probably
this much. If you can get if Odegaard comes back and can give you 4 key passes a game
mm-hmm.
and 2 or 3 scoring chances created,
Yeah.
I think that's good enough to
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah. So like when Santi Cazzola played for Malaga,
Mhm.
right? He was 27 years old. 26, 27. Erdegaard is there, but he's injured now. And I have a feeling like if he wasn't injured, he would probably be trending in a better direction than he is now. He's had a setback in the last 2 years, right? I've set him back, you know. So I hear what you're saying, BX, but I just kind of feel like the game is different, so the football looks different. What Arteta's asking him to do isn't what Wenger was asking Cazzola to do. you know, Different things. You've got Henri, we've got Gyökeres, right? We've got Havertz, totally different time period. So, you know, and we're almost to that to where to we're almost to that goal that we have, right? Lift our arms up at the end of the season. Santi was the last best number 8. We had two-footed Maestro. Yep, yeah, yeah. And we're not under there. We're talking about relativity here, right? There's the things are different now. So, like, there's not too many players like a Santi right now that you can go, oh, yes, that's like a Santi now. right? There's a lot more textbook type players out there doing things to the book kind of thing, so it doesn't look as flashy and cool. So, and that's the way football is going, as we've said. We've hit the 90-minute mark, Spencer. We went on a tangent here, but I think it was a good one.
Yeah.
We do play Leverkusen on the weekend, and I think Southampton. Both games are, well, one's away, the next two are home, if I recall. Yeah, the next two are home because we play Leverkusen away, then we play Everton, and then Leverkusen at home. So this time next week when we talk, hopefully we're going home to play in the Champions League with a goal difference in our favor, and then we get ready for our final after that against City. So be a good run in for us. Hopefully City has to struggle tomorrow and next week as well, playing Real Madrid, who might want to show what they got. So there you go.
Yeah.
Um, anything else you want to talk about? You want to say before we get out of here?
No, I guess for me at this point, like my anxiety of the season is just kind of building up at this point, and I'm just kind of mentally drained over the season.
That's why it's just one. Just one.
One game at a time.
One game at a time. The only game that matters is the next one. It's the only thing that matters. It's only because for us, guess what? They all matter for us. The next one matters for us because the next one gets us to the next place, and that is to the next game that matters.
You're correct. You're correct. But it's easy for us fans to get kind of wrapped up.
I've been trying not to go that far down the road, right? Because every game right now matters. Every game gets us closer to a trophy, and some games get us a trophy, right? We've only got one of those fronts right now. That one game gets us a trophy. Everything else, we got to work to it, right? Premier League, we got 6 games. Champion Leagues, we've got probably 4 to 5 games that will get us there, right? And the FA Cup, we've got 3 more. I think it's 3 more games. Yeah, I think 3 more games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, or is it 3? No, quarters. We're in quarters, so 4 more games. Sorry, 3 more games, right? We're in the quarters, so 3 more games. It was 4 on the weekend, but it's 3 more games. So, we've got numbers they're under 10.
I know.
They're under 7.
Arsenal, we don't have to win all. City are on pace for a quad. Each one is, and it's and again, like I think where you kind of get jumped ahead is like when City drew to Forest at home. We've just seen some crazy things in the league. Liverpool losing to Wolves, Villa losing to Wolves. We've just seen some really just things that just make you want to scratch your head and think about what we're watching. So, man, I'm fine, but I'm kind of like, I don't feel like I'm enjoying this year, even though we're winning.
It's not, you know what? And that's the thing. It's not gonna, like, Arteta is not gonna make this fun.
But I think if we were still winning games 4-0, I don't know if I'd be enjoying it because it's the pressure of the buildup of the 3 years and seeing the failures and not believing. And again, like I'm starting to get a little bit of belief because of the 7-point gap. But then also part of me would much rather win the Champions League just because it's something this club's never done.
Yeah.
And I'm probably in the minority of that. But I'm also like the further along we get in this, like the more emotionally invested. And I'm not saying anything
that's why it's important to win the next one.
Yes,
we can't. That's why it's only important to the next one. So we win the Leverkusen one. That gets us closer to the Champions League opportunity. And we've got. Let me go through the chat, and we're going to get out of here. There's plenty of players with talent and quality. It's up to managers to let them express themselves. It's criminal to use the excuse of this is the state of football. You can't cage endowment. You say that, but that's what you watched Michael Jordan in college. So tell me how can a superstar not get locked down by his own coach, right? The best defense for Michael Jordan was who? His college head coach, right? Dean Smith, right? That's the best defense against him, right? Everybody else, like you said, let him play. He would have excelled anyways. But I just feel like what managers do make the case, make the difference, and you have to be able to be confident in yourself. Arteta's not that confident in himself to let his players do what they're really good at. If he was, he would let them. For some reason, he lets his defenders bomb up the pitch. But to ask one of his attackers to do the same thing, to do something similar, he won't do it. So, that's where he is. He's more defensive minded, so he lets them play. There's not too many players like yesteryear worldwide anymore. Not just see, that's what I was saying, but BX thinks the managers are holding him back. I just don't think the talent's the same.
I think it's a mixture. I think both things can be true.
Yeah,
I think the risk has gotten. I heard someone saying this, and they were talking about like sporting directors are picking the players right now, but the managers are the ones getting held accountable for when it doesn't work. But you're not allowing me to pick the groceries for the dinner. So like I feel like the world game has kind of changed also with the expectation level.
Arteta is getting what he wants.
Correct. No, I'm saying,
and we don't like it.
Forrest, like it was about Edu and Forrest and Nuno and how he did. Edu was picking the players. I mean, look at this. Vinay's left, Edu's left, and we're almost potentially going to win what we needed to win. Yep. Vinay's got Spurs looking at the championship. You've got Edu's now unemployed again.
Yep.
Were those the problems?
That's crazy to see. Like, what he set out for like 4 or 5 months to take that job. And like a year or so later, he's done. Yeah. Let me go through this chat real quick so we can get out of here.
It makes you wonder whether the management are like, you got to go. And it was just kind of like for face. You never. Yeah. Who knows?
And Arsenal is too loyal to just let him go that quickly. Right.
Yeah.
That's I think our Arsenal. People say we're a classy joint, right? And that's kind of what we're not just going to throw you out on the street, but other teams will. Today's game has stunted the overall growth probably. And you know what it is? It's because nobody wants to take that L. Nobody wants to take that L. Nobody wants to drop out of the Premier League. Nobody wants to drop out of the Champions League spots. Nobody doesn't want to compete for sit in the higher levels so they can at least make more money than the next. That's what it is. That's what's driving it as well. You look at the money and go, somehow we have to be able to stay up, but we don't necessarily need to win because that requires spending more, right? It's better to be second, fourth than it is to win one, because then you see what happened to Liverpool, right? Expectations grow, and sometimes you bomb.
Yeah.
Dama needs to be allowed to express himself. I hear you. I think he is being allowed to do that. We'll see if it continues. That is the big question. MLS is no left back. He's a prime young midfielder. Let him shine. Yeah, Saka wasn't a fullback either. But guess what he was doing when he came into the league? He was playing fullback, and what was he doing? Excelling there until he got his chance and he moved up. So I think I think MLS might have to just wait his turn and just be ready to play football when he's called upon. I think he'll get his chance. Either. And he might have to leave, but he'll get his chance because the one thing people won't say is he didn't look good playing football out there, regardless of where I put him. You know what I mean? And that's the thing Saka did. You played him everywhere, and he looked good. All right, and then you played him his preferred position because you trusted him. So MLS was doing things reminiscent of how Wilshere was. Yeah. I just think, like I said, the team has grown around him, and it's just kind of hurt him a little bit. You can't coach MLS against City. That's bleeding red and white. He's young and hungry and loves the club. He does. Skelly backed up his trash talking against Holland. He did. And then this year he struggled a little bit, right? The players do have a little setback sometimes. He struggled a little bit this year. Saka was a prime left wing back, true. But he had to play fullback for us, if I recall. I think we were playing for at the back, right? Right, I think we were. I think he was playing the fullback, right? So playing in the midfield, he played everywhere, right? Saka. He played too much. Maybe MLS isn't going to play as much, and they'll get a similar, he'll get progression. So that I think it's a different time. When Saka was there, we had no one. We have players now, so we don't have to rush MLS, right? And we still might get the same quality player for later when they're seasoned. So the left back experiment was a farce. It was an experiment, but it's a footballer playing in a football position and playing football, looking good. Left wing back has split defensive duties. I get that. I get that. Like I said, but Saka played out of position, right? And he looked all right. So, and he got his chance, and when he took it, the manager didn't have a choice but to keep playing him. Skelly will get that opportunity. Hopefully, it's here with us. Hopefully, it's here with us. All right. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
I do have one thing. I was curious if, based on how pragmatic the league has been this year, is this a year where the World Cup is going to be a little bit better than because I prefer league over international, but will the international game mimic what we've seen in the club game, or will it be free flowing again with space and everything? Just curious. Something to think about.
Well, I think it'll be just like the Champions League. That's how I feel it will go. Just because I feel like you really don't have another 10 games to think about it. You have 3 or 4 games to get it done, and you have 3 games to get it done. And if you have to go to the 4th, then you are overusing your players in that short period of time. So you'd rather get the 3 games in, have won 3 of them, and then the 4th one you can rotate a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I feel like it plays out. Those teams that are able to win the first 3 will do good. England is deep. Spain is deep.
Yep.
Germany is deep. Brazil has the talent. Where they get them playing that way, we'll see. Right? I don't know who else is in that top 4. Argentina, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if Messi's getting older. Like who else is in that top 4 there? Italy's even in the World Cup? I don't know.
Not sure.
But we are going to get out of here. This has been great. We've hit the 100-minute mark. Thank you for joining us. We'll do this again the next week. Hopefully we'll have Tony with us. I know Tony's been doing his wrestling show, so if you don't see him here, you would definitely see him there on his channel, Missile Dropkick, doing his wrestling bit. Spencer, anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No. We'll see you guys in the next one.
All right, cool. So we'll be here on Saturday. I think Arsenal plays late in the day, so I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to change our time. I think we're just going to do our regular show. Maybe you'll see me on with Ryan later in the day. I don't know, but I never know what I'm going to do. But maybe that's what we'll do. But we play. I think it is 1:30 over here, 7:30. 5:30 over there in the UK. 1:30 over here on Saturday afternoon. So BX says, great show, gentlemen. Appreciate the stream. Thanks for coming. Any watch alongs tomorrow? No, I'm working, so I'll be just watching the game from I guess I'll be watching tomorrow. Game is oh, that's right. So it's early, 1:45. So I might get to watch some of it. I have an important meeting later in the day, so I don't know if I'll be able to watch it the way I would like. So hopefully it's a win and I can go back and watch it again.
Well, that's the same thing. I've got a meeting at 1, but my boss has not called me to talk on the phone since Thursday last week. So God knows he'll probably want to call and talk tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I have a meeting with my manager as well. So
tomorrow, I don't see my boss every day, so
no. Well, I don't see mine because I'm not in the office. We're not in the office every day, so that's why.
Yeah, he just doesn't come to where I'm working. If I was where he was at, I'd see him constantly too much. I love you, boss. Sorry, I didn't mean that to just. He's not watching.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll do this again next week. Hopefully, next time we chat, we've had 2 wins, and it'd be nice if we're sitting 10 points atop the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the magic number will be 5, I think, if I recall, or maybe 4. Maybe 4. I think that's where it's like a 6-pointer. Every time we win and somebody loses, it drops 2 games instead of 1.
City play Saturday, right?
Let's see here. Let's see. City plays on. Yeah, they play after. Yeah, they play the last game of the day. West Ham. They're at West Ham. So
Yeah,
Depending on how the Real Madrid game goes, they might be a little tired traveling to London, right?
If it all works out well, if you
West Ham has been a nice surprise for or not a terrible surprise for other people. So they could do something. They could get destroyed as well. So, but thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week. We'll do this again. We'll be back on Saturday doing our show. I think we'll catch the end. We'll catch at the beginning of the. That's right, because of the time difference now. That's right. So we're off by an hour. So we'll catch the beginning of the Burnley, Bournemouth, and Sunderland, Brighton games, and because those games start at 11. So that's the crazy part about this time difference. It kind of screws up the show. So, but you got to do what you got to do. Mm-hmm. And we're out of here, everybody. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you on the next one.
Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.